Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to work through some of that form builder stuff we were working on last time, where it's just because I guess just how the data was being rendered, I didn't really have a good understanding of what was happening. So I think it's time to dig in a little bit deeper, make sure that we get that all figured out and looking like we want it to look. I'm going to change a few things, and I did do a few things already before the stream. The first one was to get rid of the labels, just visually, so they're still there in the code for screen readers to read. So now I'm just using placeholders to fill in the data, or I guess to show what the field is supposed to do. I removed a div from the field to allow the width to work properly, but I'm thinking I'm going to add that back in. And then I set the placeholders like I said. So that's what I've done so far, and I'm going to change some of that though, because I think I'm going to go for more of a single column view for the form, and I need to add a message. So before I do any of that though, I would like to get my project up to date, because I have been getting errors, and I think some of the errors might be from my payload version. So I'm going to come down to our package, and yeah, so I'm still on 3.5. I'm just going to select all of these payload projects, and I just did a video covering how to do this that'll come out soon. So and I did that because I wanted to make sure that on live I didn't have any errors or bugs that I had to troubleshoot before getting back into this. So I believe that's all of the 3.5s, and they're now on 3.11. So I now need to run, oh, that's going to use npm, that's going to take forever and probably be wrong. So let's go to terminal and do pnpm I and let that do its thing. And so this is going to let me do a little bit more with join fields a little bit later. So I'm excited for that. They introduce like default column. It can access join fields and arrays now. So all of that's great stuff. They also have exposed the rec object to default values. So there's a lot of great stuff I can do up on 3.11 compared to 3.5 for sure. But we wanted to make sure that there was no errors taking place when we did that. So now I should be able to just refresh this and everything should be fine. At least that's how it was on the video that I just recorded. That obviously was a little bit less of a complicated project though. So one thing I will mention is that this warning here, no email adapter provided, is kind of getting in the way. I think I just need to do, I have plans to do a video on getting SendGrid set up. So I think I just need to suck it up and do it, because this will allow me to, one, get rid of this warning, but then two, be able to use this form fully, because it'll send an email to me for me when this is done. For now, like right now, all it does, if I go to my admin panel, and when I log in, it's just going to have a collection. This is not right. It is this one. It's going to ask me to save passwords and change passwords and all that. So we have down here our forms. The form submission shows up here. So cool, it's nice to see, but I'd rather have it sent to my email. It's just a better use case of the form. So looks like things have worked. It does not look like the form form error has gone away. So let's just double check to make sure that type of form does not equal string. So then it's saying that Boolean is not an option. Okay, so regardless, we know that the form shows up, so we're okay there. Let's worry about styles first. So let's take a look here. We've got our form block, which is what we're looking at. And we're going to come down, and one of the divs that I removed is right here. So what I can do though is here. So the div was wrapped around this div, and then I need to add a key, which I believe is just index. So that means I don't need this key here, and then when I do this, it should put this back to a single column view. That's okay with me right now. The next thing I want to do, just so I have everything that I'm supposed to be working with, is go back to this form, go to contact, and add a message. So not a confirmation message, an actual message. Let's collapse all. Let's add a field message, and this is going to be a rich text, so I can use probably heading 1, just do contact, and then if you want to reach me, contact me here. So now if I save this and come back over here, perfect. So now when I expand this, nothing's going to happen still. Interesting. Okay, so I think it's because I don't have UI for it. So if I go up to our message, index, okay. And then I believe this should have had our, let's go back to how Payload had this website template. Front end, and I'm just going to do full screen for this. Let's move some stuff over real quick. There we go. All right, so we're in the front end, and I know it's in a block. We'll go to form message. So index. So that's, I believe, what we have right now. Though they have it as width 100, like that. Alright, so that's not erroring out like it used to, so that's good. Let's see if that does anything. It shouldn't, but just in case. Yeah, I didn't think so. Great, so now we'll go back. Interesting. Alright, so now we can go to our width index and make sure that this styling is still right. The reason I say that is I may have changed it. So let's go over here, go to width, yes, okay, so get rid of all of that. Inspect real quick. Okay. Got div, and then this is the div down here. So it still says max width of 100%. So I know there is something that sets the class name, but where is it? I believe it's text. Maybe it's in form component. It's not any of these, but oh, it's right there. So that's the fields.txt. Got our config, not what we're looking for. Because this is the actual like block. It's, yes, the actual block itself. I did say that right. All right, so then this should still be a copy and paste of what I had before. Oh yeah, and then intro content. So I did delete those. Let's see if that adds anything back. Got a component. Where are we? Okay, so intro. So set the return. Oh no, I did leave that in. Okay, enable intro content. So this can go up to the top for sure. Making me work this the hard way. Okay. Message. Emails. Okay. So I don't see much to add to the message. So what is this enable intro? From the form block type. So we come here to our config is where I actually want to go. So we need to figure out how to enable our intro content. So let's go full screen again. Let's do plugins. Form builder. Okay. So let's see, just make sure message is doing what I think it should be doing. Maps to original on your front. Use to display an arbitrary message to the user anywhere in the form. So I don't think this is actually what I'm looking to do. So options, maybe? Fields, no, because this is, let's do basic usage. Plugins, form builder plugin, okay. So then let's see. Form overrides. These are all fields, so that's not going to be what I'm looking for. The examples directory, visual. Here, this is a blog for it, how it works, forms collection, form submissions, not what I'm looking for, demo, okay. Simply import the package and add it to your plugins array, did that. Okay, so I need to add a form block, which I don't know if I have done. So let's go and do that. So we have our form, which means then in here we're going to create a new TypeScript file and we'll call it config. And since we're really copying from here, this is a better place to, I think, get what I need. That's the example. So that's not what I'm looking for. This is the form block. So if I do this, looks like everything is working right. So I can hit save for this. And then now if I go to edit, refresh, let's save just in case. I don't know if it will, but then refresh. Okay, pages collection that blocks form block. So that's from our Okay, so let's take a look then. So in our page config here, we will, in our blocks, it appears. Blocks. Add our form block from our config. Okay, did that. Now we go over to our, not our forms, we need to go to pages. And then on our contact page, this is actually good because what I want to do is get rid of anything in the hero section. There's the form that it's a relationship to, but we'll get rid of that. Come here and do our add a block, add a form, and have contact here, enable intro content, which then I can set and be our contact us. And then if you wanna reach me, do it here. Save that. And so nothing's gonna happen because this is, I believe, the wrong form to reach by. So now it's actually not there. It's content dot okay. I think I need to generate types because I changed some stuff. So let me do that real quick. Payload generate. Ooh, if I could spell, generate types. Okay. And then do content dot. Why is it making me do that? So first we'll do hero. So if there's no hero, that should go away. And no form's not defined. Oh, it's content dot. Type of content does not equal a string, which should not be a consideration, but here we are. Weird. Okay. So let's hold off on this real quick. Go back here, go to the API. So So problem is that there is a hero section there, so no real way to clear that I'm aware of. So then, yes, okay, so the form is content dot The problem is that I don't want this to always be in the first position. So, well, I guess yeah, so it's just unleashing the content there. So I think we're okay. So then we'll want this again. But since it's required, well, not required, but not unrequired, type of content, content does not equal string. Okay, not a problem. Let's go. So I'm still getting the error, but let's see what happens here. All right, I got a button. I have hero.image. That should fix that, I think. Nope, okay. Image dot. All right, there we go. So now we're not getting anything from the form block except for this button. But I do see information here. So let's do this where I'll go back to the form component and just make sure and copy and paste all of the form components. I can always just undo it. Oh, that's right. I still have to change this to import serialized lexical. Do my own here. Do not notes, nodes. Dot root dot children. Dot root dot children. And I don't have enable gutter in mind, so I can hit false to that. All right, so not getting anything there. Still have this button that's giving me an error because children does not exist on the type, but I can change that just to get rid of the error. Okay, maybe I can't. That's all right, because props is going to contain children. Oh, which I think I can just do this then. Okay, not. No biggie. All right, so let's go back here then to the blog. Email did that. Okay, cool. Alright, so I don't actually know what the problem I'm running into is. So let's just restart, make sure that we're good there. Alright, so yes, still no luck. So message is not what I'm looking for, so let's go contact. Oh, that's not even what I was looking for either. Go to edit. Let's edit this form, get rid of the message. And I have name, email, and message, or a different message, yes, but still. The following field is invalid form. So what is this doing then? Form block type. Okay, so it is looking for... So am I just sending too much then? Let's go back here. Or not enough. Okay, hold on. So now let's do this type check. Content. Content. It's not equal string. Okay. Dot block type. Okay, very interesting, very interesting. So let's see what this is giving me. This mic is driving me crazy today. All right, so form block is what I see. Alright, well let's see what they're doing then. If we go to form, well not even, so we'll go to front end, we'll look at, I don't imagine it would be here. Oh, it would be. No, maybe. Oh, slug, that's what I'm looking for. Go to page. Then can go to their render blocks, which is maybe where I'm running into issues here. But let's see. Render blocks is in their blocks. Oh, okay, so if I go to blocks, I should see render blocks here, and then I should see their form block somewhere in here. Yeah, form block. Okay, so then I need to add that to my show blocks, which means that this is going to be useless here in a minute. Where's my show blocks? I should be under components. Blocks, okay. Ugh, where is it? Oh, I can get to it through there. All right, so then we can do case form block, return form block component. That should be blocks that enable intro, and this should be blocks dot form. I don't actually know if that's the right. It is the right name. Okay. So then we can go back to our contact page. And then do I need to, what happened? Enable intro content should be there, which means form block, fields, confirmation, message, redirect, emails, created at enable intro. Should be set to true. Blocks enable intro. Should be true. Yeah. Let's make sure it's just not hidden, because that could be very likely. Does not appear to be so. But we got most everything, so we're making progress, making good progress here. Form block. Let's just see what happens if I set enable intro to true. Interesting. Inspect. Again, just double checking to make sure that nothing's in here that I can't see. Does not look like it. But I do see it in here. Content. And then it's looking through block type. And then it took the form. Good. Enable intro. Which means that intro content. Alright, so blocks. Enable intro. Blocks. Intro content. Is there anything else here I should include? It does not appear to be so. Come back here, and there we go. So now we have our intro content and we have our form, neither of which are styled how we want it to be, but at least they're working. And if I were to fill out the form, well, there's my other email address. We all have a bunch of these. All right. And then I can do the contact. We can see a confirmation message, which I can set that to be different, but I can see that we've received a new message from me. So let's go back to our edit page, go to our contact form, and we're going to change our confirmation message to just be a little bit bigger. Just for now. Okay. So in good shape there. And we should see now we have 2 form submissions here. So great to see. And since are these collapsibles or arrays? I think they're just collapsible. No, they're blocks. Okay. So that makes things a little bit more difficult. Because I was going to see if we can use one of them as the title of the, instead of using the ID, use the title. So I guess maybe we could. Let's take a look. So let's close show blocks page. I'm glad to have that error gone now. I don't think this one's gonna go away though. It's fine. Oops. We can close this for now. Close that for now. Component. This is the form with the button. So we're gonna leave this open. And what we're going to do is find our payload config. That's really what I'm looking for. And then in our form submission overrides, let's see if we can use as title. No, it needs to be a top level field. Just make sure. Use as title, submission datum 01 dot. That's probably a bad way to do that anyway. Oh, okay. Well, it's a non-starter there anyway. Oh well. Okay, so now let's actually get some styling done, shall we? Oh, let's refresh. Cool. So nothing happens in our styles there. So what we want to do is have the contact us on the left and then the form on the right. So I know none of these are doing anything. But again, let's just add Tailwind back in. I might need to see, do I have a Tailwind config? Because I think that's why it wasn't working before. So I'm going to copy all of these into my global. Cool. And then I need to add a Tailwind config. It would appear. I don't see it here. Nope. Alright, so let's go to our root. Do tailwind.config.js. Let's see if this does anything for me. Make sure I did all this right. I already know I have it installed, so I'm not too worried about that part. But I guess I can try it again. Oh no, it's already installed. Okay. Oh, I think I need a post CSS config file. Which means let's get rid of this, because I think it's going to be added automatically. Hit that. npm. Where's my Tailwind? All right, so maybe that's not working like I wanted to. Oh well. Let's see what I have to work with then. All right, so we have our intro content up here, which is a span. It looks like we have a container. So here, let's just clear out anything we know we're not going to need, which this can actually be our section container. this can be our content container. I cannot spell content container, section container. So now refresh that, refresh this, nothing is working. All right, so progress. So then over here, we have the intro container. So we are going to, in the serialized lexical, do we want to give this a new div? I think so. So let's do a div. And then set, we'll get rid of this class name, don't need that. And then here you can do class name, classes dot intro container. So now if we go up to our form block, which is right here, we do have an index dot SCSS, so we can import classes from now we have our intro container. I don't know if any of these are going to work like I want them to anymore, but that's okay because I want my I need the whole form, though, to be display flex. Let's get rid of all of these because they're not working anyway. I don't have a class form right now, so that's what this is for. Not children. Class name, classes.form. Cool. So this is actually form section is what I want this to be. Form section, and really flex direction is going to be column at the smallest size. And then we'll do a gap of, we'll say 1 rem. Cool. And we'll work on the form in a second. But at the include mid break from queries. Let's do small break. But I need to duplicate that, get queries. Include small break. Flex direction can be row. Cool. Yep, so that works great. Wonderful. So now we can go down to the next level where intro doesn't really need anything added, so we're going to leave that how it is. Form provider is probably not going to take any classes, and that's okay. I don't really want to do anything else with our confirmation message. I thought that looked fine. Error message has submitted. So here, now we've got our actual form. So we'll do class name, classes dot form. Now we can do form, and then all margin bottom 0. All right, I don't actually know what's happening with the form, so let's take a look at it. And first, let's go to our text area index because we want to set. Oh, I don't have any. Oh, it's because I have it at this level, I think. No, because I only have here. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. So we're going to import classes from index. Class name, none of these are going to make it. So we'll leave class name, but also add in classes dot text area. So let's go here. I would like I'd like to use rounded here. So let's find our CSS folder. I think it's going to be under here. No. Where are you? Oh, app. CSS. Queries as all. We'll do the same thing for our vars. All right, so then we can do rounded. Include rounded. So that's too rounded. But let's wait to see that for sure, because I want to do padding of 1 rem, which is probably too much. Yep. 0.5 feels better. Width of 100%. Let's get rid of that. Okay, and then let's set our text area to have an outline of 1 big solid, and then this should actually be dark primary, which is what this should be as well. Okay, so outline doesn't work here. So what are you supposed to be? Border. Yep. So we can change this to be border. Have this be also well, I know I don't need label anymore because that's currently hidden. So let's set that and then do this. Text area, which I guess is not what I set. I did not set a class name, that's why. So we can do class name, classes dot text area. Import classes from text area. Okay. Okay. So let's just set that, right? There we go. And then you could also use padding of 0.5 rem. Perfect. All right. So now, why aren't these? And I don't like the bubbly look, so we're going to adjust that as well. But margin bottom 6. Why are you only half your width? Because max width is 50%. Yes. Okay. So let's go to our API and fix that in the form itself. We're going to go to Forms, go to Edit. No, didn't do what I wanted. Go to Forms, Contact. And then here I have these. Oh no, that's required. If I set this to nothing, it should default to 100%, but we're gonna make sure of that. There we go. All right, so now, again, don't like the bubbly look, so we're just going to take out rounded. And that should give weirdness right there. So we're getting close. But with text area, I don't know why it's being a little bit different than these. Not that that class does anything. Oh, I think it's, can I do in, what if I do border none? No, I think there's something inset here, or outset, I don't know. Overflow. Let's see. So it's this input thing here. Yeah, I don't think it's anything really. But how can I fix it is the question. So we'll fix this in a minute too, but I'd really like to know why text area doesn't line up with text field. Okay, so it looks like let's see. So there's a border around it, but I added the border. There's no margin around it, so, but let's see. Margin left, 0. Margin right, 0, 0. Okay, no. Div. Border none, no. If I set border none here, there is the outline which lines up. which that's fine. So with the border adding an extra pixel, can we do outset? Okay, and then do border. So that does not seem to be the error. Can I inset it? Maybe just do 2 pixels? No, because that's going to start going on the inside. So not having a border though. Getting rid of border, and then outline didn't work before. Yeah, so, oh, it's there. Oh, okay, so I'm just overthinking everything. No problem. Love that. All right, so we can do outline. And then should just be able to do both solid here. Great, so it's there, perfect. So now we want the form to fill up a little bit more space there, don't we think? So why though? The form itself is not taking up a lot of space. That's because of the content container, it seems. No. Because that's setting the max width. Can I just set the width to be 100%? Yes, I can. So that'll take 100% of the space there, which is not what we need. Let's set it to like maybe 80%. 50%. Yeah. So now we also need to make sure that this is taking up all of its space. And then we can go back to our form and have this take up width 50%. Which is actually not what I needed to do, because it's in the content container that needs it. Class name, classes, we'll do content container. Whoops. Dang, all right. And this is actually needs to be at the include small break, because at this break here, this needs to be width 100%. Perfect, so that's looking pretty good. We set the width, so now we could go to the form section and do our, well, so the form needs to be a flex, and we'll do 1, do 50%, see what happens. And then I do need the intro section. I can do this and do the same thing, flex 1, 50%, and really I need it to be a calc of 50% minus 1 rem. Do the same thing here, calc of 50% minus 1 rem. And now it's taking up a 50-50 spot. So that works at the smaller size. So probably up until about the mid break. And then we can do include mid break, and then this side doesn't need as much space, so I can set the flex basis to be calc of let's have it take up 30% of the space, and have this include mid break take up flex basis 70% of the space. So that shouldn't do anything here, but if I get up to the mid break, still taking up 50-50, which means actually I need the grow to stop. Yeah. And so let's set this back to flex, and then this will be grow shrink, and then set this to be, really I think 20% should be plenty. Do 80% here. Okay. So maybe 30% actually is good. Here, do 30, do 70, come up here to form section, and do our margin left auto, margin right auto. Which did not do anything for us, but now we see that's taking up about, should be about 37. It's the content container that needs this. All right, so then we bring this down. Okay, so we'll keep width at 100% because that's working. We'll put a little bit more margin under the form here. So now we come here, we still have width at 100%, but now we should be at a 50-50 split in our flex, which it looks like we do. Oops. Then we open up some more. And then here we see we have a 30. Oops. A 30-70 split, which this is probably not the place to do it, so we'll do 40. So this actually should be 40. And then do 60. Okay. Good. All right, small, medium, and then we can do a large. Okay, add include large break. And let's do flex. And do we, oh. Let's just do, well, up here, we need to do a 1 calc, and then this can go up to 70%, and this can stay 0, 1 calc, 30%. There we go. Here, and so the form gets a little bit large, so maybe we stop that from growing too. But also our max width doesn't seem to be working, so if I do this, which should be in the section container, but oh no, it's in the content container. Okay, so that needs to change. We can set this to be this should just be a div, honestly. Cool, and then we can set here to here with our content container. Okay, so it's in our our form section. All of this. So this needs to go down then to our form, which is what it should have been in the first place. Content container. And then this should all fit in here. Still no, okay. So, what do we have? Content container. Yeah, this should be right. Oh, not quite. Okay. So this then should go here. And does this div need to go away? I believe so. So now that can stretch and be good, and that goes up to 80%. But honestly, that form still just looks a little large. So let's set it so it doesn't get much bigger than maybe this. So what is that? Max width of 600-ish pixels. So we'll do max width of what is 16. Divided by 16 is 37, so we'll say 38 rem. And that looks about right, but we're seeing a bunch of space. So here we probably want to center it. I do want to see how Payload does theirs, which theirs just looks like a 50-50 split. And then, yeah, I like the 50-50 split. Let's do that. So let's just get rid of all of this. So now it's 50-50. All the way across. Yeah. Cool. So there's still this like space here. How do they do theirs? Nothing wrong with imitating. Alright, so they do theirs in a grid. So this one is taking up 6 grid, the other one is taking up 6. So we can do that too. So let's do we'll still do the content container. And then as part of that though, we will do through here, we can add our own grid. Okay. And then that means we need to change a few things. So we have here our intro container, which instead of this flex, and I don't know what that's going to look like quite yet, but So at small, it's going to be column span 12. And then here, we'll do column span 12. So I don't think it's column span, but column. I don't actually know what it's supposed to be. Oh, I think it's template, grid template, columns. No, it is grid column span 12. There we go. And then the same should be done here. And then what do we have here? There's a column gap of 3, which is fine. But then as we expand, again, we really don't want... I think I can get rid of all of this. See what happens, yeah. Cool. So once we get to about the small break, can do at include small break, do grid column span 6. There we go. Looks great. So we want this to be I really like how they do this. Okay, so the screen size changes. Cool. So we'll do that too, but we won't do it for all of our pages. So can I do, instead of that though, can I do here, I can do justify content end? No. But what if I did text align left? Also no. All right, great. So what we'll do instead is we're going to increase in our large screens. Well, first, let's go to our content container, which I believe is still being used. It is, and we'll set our at include large break. We'll set our max width to be more like 60 rem, not rem pics. I mean, most of that looks good. I just don't like how separated these are. And I don't want to give this much more space because I like that size. So in our grid is where I need to actually set this. Yeah, so okay. So let's go to our grid and do class name. Get rid of this class name. Grid, okay, and so at the grid level, then we also need margin auto. Okay. So this maybe should be 70, and then we can do margin left auto, margin right auto. It looks better, and then we can make the inputs a little bit larger, and then we'll call it quits. We're running them quite a long time here. So we will do an input and text area. We can do a font size. We'll do a clamp of 1 rem, view width And then we'll say like 1.2 rem, see what that does. So it should max out at 1.5. Which maybe it's a little aggressive for that one, but 1 is definitely the lowest it should go. And then maybe like 1.3. All right, so all right, I like it. It looks fine. And like we would obviously fill in a little bit more than just this. If you want to reach me, do it here into the text box, but definitely at smaller screen sizes, it looks good. And that's gonna really do it for me here too. All right, but that means we'd be able to add this form to anything. So I keep getting this error. Let's see where this key is. So if we go to our home page, nope. If we go to our slug here, there's a key missing somewhere. Oh, in the grid. All right, so pain points. It's telling me where it is. Imagine that if I would read, this would make my life easier. So a grid, we have pain points map. There, I see a key there. There's no map for the grid. Map key button. Here, I'm gonna scooch this over. So grid. Yeah, there's no map on the grid. Let's just see. If I do index here, instead of point, which, you know, what did I have here before? Yeah, why didn't I just do point.id? Oh, because it doesn't exist. All right, well, let's leave index in there because I think that solves the error. And that's fine with me. Okay, but yeah, so now I could go to my pages, which is where I actually wanted to go, and then I can go to my home page, go to the content, and then scroll all the way down. And I could just add to like close to the footer section. I can add a new block, do the form block, have this be contact with no enable intro content, but I'll include it anyway. Oh, that's right, I get to set this to whatever I want it to be. Need more information. And then I can save this. And I think I can get rid of this form. A relationship. Yeah, so need more information. That's perfect. And then opens up. Great. So I'd probably add a header text, I think, to this as well. I think it looks fine. We can optimize stuff later, but the form doesn't really need a whole lot of work. But maybe let's just make the form max width be a little bit less. Do 60 rem instead. Is this 60 rem? It is 60 rem. So instead of just need information, that means that I need to include some heading. So then if I do that, contact for more information, that looks a little bit better, even at bigger screen size. So I'm cool with that. And then we go back over to our contact. Cool. So this is coming along great. Let's check. Is there a margin top here? No, it's aligned. Unless there's something here. Span each one. No. Cool. Span H1 span. Yeah, okay. If there was a margin, it would be a lot higher, I guess. Okay. So, I think this is a good place to stop. We've got our Contact Us page. We have a blog page. And load's a little slow, but it's working great. We have our home page that now has a form on it. So let's take a look. There's still some errors that I need to work out and figure out why I'm getting these errors. So like here, this is it's just a type error because of I can't add children as a type. And then I know I have the same error, notifications. All right, whatever. And then here's where our, okay, yeah, so there's no error there, but I do have it at the hero level. And again, this is going to be a type error, types of property headline. So we'll leave this exposed for now, and we'll come back to it. Oh, I want to remove the form relationship, so let's do that. So we have single column form. We added a message and bypassed the hero section for the contact area, but we could always add a hero section back in, no problem. So now the next time we'll want to review the form error, review the error for the hero, and then we can start building out a few more pages for our industry, for example. So we can get rid of these real quick, and then also go to our pages collection and remove our form relationship. And this makes sense anyway, because now I can add more forms. I don't want to add multiple forms to a single page, but I could add one to like the footer or something like that. So I think this is right. Yep. So we've got, oh, the form has not gone away yet. Let's refresh. So if we go to our hero, yep, the form is now gone. Cool. All right, well, this is a great place to stop. We did quite a bit of work here, so thank you for joining and hopping along with that one as we upgraded our project. We worked through forms and how to style them, and a couple of different topics to talk about there. So if you enjoyed this, go ahead and share it, like the content. Don't forget to check and make sure that you're subscribed to my channel so you can see whenever I go live, or if there is a new video that I post, which has been really nonstop recently. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, so subscribe, get notifications, and I'll see you on the next one.